big game changer as far as trying to lower your Mercedes. I know last time, I know we had issues not being able to save it. I thought it was saved, but then I couldn't get it to accept it. So what I have here is the Foxwell NT510 Elite. So like a bi-directional scanner. So I'm able to scan most of your codes, modules. This thing does a lot. So for, I said, I got this a while back. But it definitely saved a bunch of headaches trying to work on any European cars. Definitely the Mercedes though, like you gotta have this. So I carry it in my car all the time. What's in this car? I'm able to actuate like your injectors one by one. Of course, the air suspension, reset your transmission. And the one thing that I was like hoping when I got this was for, you know, to lower your car, because I was always using the lowering links for the Mercedes and everything. I'll just give you guys a quick rundown on how I lowered it and actually got to save. I just, you know, tested it again, drove around, gas station, store, and still the same ride height. So finally I was able to get this thing saved. Alright, so this scanner, when you purchase it, they usually include one manufacturer. So of course I bought the Mercedes because that was the car that I always have or had back then. I did buy the BMW when I tried to dabble with the Beamers, and didn't really work out so well. Probably with the two cars that I bought, you know, the 7 and the 6 series, probably the worst chassis to troubleshoot and get as a project with those two cars. I should just got the inline 6 on the 3 series, but that's another story. So of course, here we go. I'll go to Mercedes, hit enter. Benz, you're gonna want to go to Smart VIN. All right, so after you hit VIN, Smart VIN, it's gonna give you an option here. It's gonna give you your serial number. So you're gonna hit complete, which is F3. F3. You pick your year, model, car. We'll go 5 to 2006. Left-hand drive. Enter. Now there's quick scan if you want to scan all, you know, quick scan of all the modules and of your car. If you want to just reset your oil, you can hit this. You can reset it without the tool because this is the tool. So I'm just gonna go back. We're gonna go to control modules. So with the modules, you can pick either your drive, chassis, body, pretty much every section, you know, of your car, which is the engine, which would be drive, chassis, and then body. So for your suspension, you go to chassis, enter. Now see, you have your ESP, brake control, TPC sensors. Now we're gonna go to Airmatic here, which is 4, enter. Boom. So you can read the codes, live data of your actual Airmatic suspension, active tests, so different tests for your suspension, and special functions, which we'll get into these. So foremost, special functions. This is where I think we ran into this issue where we couldn't save this any resettings, which you have to save it in the special functions. You can actually go to like live data. See live data, you can get all the live data of your Airmatic system. So which is be the sensors, voltages, you know, everything pretty much that has to do with it part. So we can take the vehicle level. This is where mine is now. So if you can see right here, so the front level is 4 millimeter. So I guess it's 4. The right is 3. Rear is 7. So these are like plus. So +4, +3, +7. Everyone's is going to be different. Depends if you have links or not, or you know, the ground height, ground level, if it's leveled. But I know it's leveled because I use my laser. I know it's mine's leveled because I have my laser that I use for work here, which, you know, basically I can go millimeters. See the red dot right there? So it measures from the back, it measures from the rear of this to wherever the laser is pointing. So, you know, from the ground to where I am, hold that, 0.9. So I was basically going from fender to ground. Hold it. Okay, there we go. There you go, 0.725. So from fender to ground. So I did that on all four corners till I got them, you know, matched up and evenly. That's how I was doing mine. I mean, you can use a tape measure or what, you know, whatever works for you. I like that. For me, it's more accurate. So like I said, so basically these are where you're at for the values of your car. Of course, like, it's gonna change. So if I go and sit in the car right now, look, I'm sitting in it, you'll see them change. See, now let's go to 1, 3, 5. It just compensates for the weight. If I get out, boom, the numbers will change. So that's always gonna change, you know. So you don't have to expect them to be the same all the time. What you want to do is make sure you dial in the height how you like it. You know, make sure you're on a level playing ground, and get you some measuring tools. You know, the laser one's good. Like I said, you can use a tape measure. Some people use a caliper. I know I had an electronic one where I just kind of measured from, like, I used like a caliper digital one, and I just measure from the fender to the rim or tire, however you want to do it. So but the main thing is trying to save this thing. So what we're gonna do, so this is basically, this is us going to vehicle level, just check the levels out. Let's see. All right, so you can also go to active test, and in active test we'll go to number, see, 8 and 9. You don't want to do automatic because it's going to calibrate it to your standard OEM stock levels, so we don't want that. We're trying to modify it aftermarket. And so, well, you can either go manual, move toward calibrated level manually, which this is going to give you the ability to adjust. See, now you see the numbers again. So this is actually good. I like to adjust it in this mode, but you can't save it. So you'll do your adjustments here, and then you'll save it on another menu. So here, so if it's kind of it's, you know, you get used to it, but you have to. So we'll go down, because that's actually what we're saving right there. Your Romus inclination measuring instrument values. So it's a tool that's used to give you your inclination numbers, which if you have like a star or something, it will actually give it to you automatically. You don't have to figure it out yourself, but you have to be in between the ranges. So you see, for your fronts, 3.1 to -4.1, and then the rear is negative. The rears are always going to be negative. So any inclination value for the rear is going to be negative. So see, over here is -1.7 to -1.1. So as I go down, I'm going to scroll through, and then also your voltages. See, your voltages need to be within these ranges. The front's 1.8 volts, 2.8 volts, and then the rear's 2.2 to 3.0. So the reason why that before we weren't getting our values or levels changed because we probably weren't within these numbers. So if you're like at say for the fronts 3.0, it's gonna reject it. You know, it's got to be within those numbers. So I'll show you what I did. I just kept it real basic too. So here you go. So if you hit number 3, which is the red highlighter, so we can move it to the right, 4, 5. So that's, as we go down the list, I'll go down. 5 is to lift the front, 4 is to lower the front. You go on, 6 is to lower the front right, 7 is to lift the rear, 8 is to lower the rear. See, with the rears, there's only one lowering link in the rear, so they do it as a whole. So when you lift the rear up, the whole rear goes up, and you drop it, the whole rear drops. So only the front ones where you have control of left and right strut. So I'll give you an example here. So just so you can see, doing it in like live. So if you're trying to adjust each corner, let's go. So I'm gonna show you this first, which is your actuation values for the left, right, rear. So you see the numbers, 4, 3, 7. All right, so see we're at 7. So just to give you an idea, so we'll hit, I'll go lower, I'll hit 6, which if you go down, 6 is to lowering the air suspension of the rear. So I highlighted 6. All right, I'm gonna hit enter. And you can see the difference, but if you look, we'll go back up. If you look at the number, now we're at 1 millimeter. I was at 7. I hit lower, went down to 1. Look at that gap. Gap is gone. Yep. Righty. So you can basically see, you know, I have the car lowered. Now a little bit. Okay, so after that, we lowered it. I'm sitting in the car now, so obviously the rear is going to drop more to -7. But, alright, let me get out. So, I mean, I'm good with this for me. For the series tire, I have a 275/35 in the rear. So I'm squeezing that in here, and it's not rubbing, so, yeah. I know it's different from my usual, you know, wide lip. Like on my S55, I had, you know, a more flush look on there. I went with a more thicker square setup on this one. Well, these actually came with the rims. They were brand new too, so I didn't want to change the tire setup. So I'll roll with the square setup for a little bit. I'm eventually gonna want to put different lips on them like I did on my other car, but that's going to be another project, guys. But for now, you know, I just want to get rid of the gap and have it lowered. So now that we have our value saved and you like your ride height, we're going to go back, hit back, we go back. Now we're going to go to special functions, which is number 5. This is where the most important step is hitting enter. Now we go to initial startup. Now they have 1 and 2. You don't want to go to 1, which is automatic takeover settings from the previous control unit, because it's, you know, you want to manually enter your numbers. So we're going to hit 2, go down to number 2. Turn the light off. All right, so we're going to go down to number 2. hit enter. So we'll go to F3, which is okay. And here you go. So we've done it already. So where we want to go, we'll go hit OK because I already adjusted everything. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to OK, which I got highlighted, hit enter. Now this is where the issue happens, the values here. So what I did is, for the fronts, I just entered 3.1. So you go to F3, which is edit, keyboard, which is F2, and then see it's telling you up there, entry of value stored in the measuring instrument. So we're gonna go to 3, enter, .1, and then F3 to say complete. We got it in. Boom. There you go. Boom. It's saved. You see it's in the box. 3.1. We're gonna do the same for the bottom, which is the right front now. F3 complete. In there. We have left rear, right rear, same thing as well, except the rears are negative 1.5 and negative 0.9. I went with 0.9 because obviously it's a lower number. 2, 0, enter. Oh, actually, you know what? These F2. You gotta put the negative. Remember, rear is always negative, so negative first. Okay, we got that. And then 0. 0. Alright. .9. There you go. Negative 0.9. Alright. We'll do the same for there. Last one. Edit. Keyboard. Negative 0.9. F3. Enter. Boom. So we got them all saved. Go through it again. To the left front, 3.1. Right front, 3.1. Left, rear, negative 0.9. Right, negative 0.9. Alright, so we finish editing. We're gonna hit OK, which is F1. OK. Alright, now showing you last time. These are your inclination angles that you're gonna save. Yep, that's what I want. You hit start, which is F3. Level calibration successful. Alright, that's a good sign. Finally, hit OK F3. Boom, and we're done, fellas. That's it. So obviously you can see it got saved. So it's the '06 CLS 500. So I put the DPE wheels on it, 3-piece brakes, blacked out the trims. So sold the S550 because I was able to sell it enough to get 2 cars. So I didn't get the other car yet. Thanks for watching again, everybody. So, just if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Or if you're in the area, Las Vegas, hit me up. Shoot me, comment down below with your email. I'll get back with you. I might even do some on the side. Want to lower your car. But it's definitely a game changer, man. Like, some of those modules are expensive. Anywhere from 800 to like up 15 and up. To do the same thing, or if you want to use your lowering links, which the lowering links are good. The high height is good. It's safe. I drove it around, and it never changed. Before, we'd adjust it with the scanner, and then you drive it for a little down the street, and you come back, and it's back to where it was before. So nothing really happened. So now, like, I drove it, and it's been the same ever since. So it's a good sign, and finally. So yeah, you guys, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.